This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Let's hope this isn't a sign of how today is going to go. Good morning, guys. I am barefaced this morning because I'm going to get on with sanding the stairs. Have actually been sanding the stairs since last speaking with you. Every now and then when I can fit it in. Sanding is my least favourite job, and dear Ollie did buy a new sander in hope that it would be less dusty. I'll show you it. It is definitely less dusty, but it is not no dust. So everywhere's got a little bit dusty, and it's got to that point, if you've renovated before, you'll kind of know where you just want it done because you want to do a big clean and tidy up, which I really want to do for next week's video. I want to give that top floor a little bit of a summer refresh. I've got some new bits in, so I want to get the sanding done. I also partly want to get the sanding done because it is my hen do this weekend, and I want to go away feeling like the house is a little bit put together and I can pack my bag without feeling like I'm just a dusty mess. Which also means that hopefully, maybe while I'm away, Ollie might be able to start staining the stairs, because obviously when we stain the stairs, we could do every other step and be able to walk up and down the stairs, or it'd be just so much easier if we could do it once and sleep downstairs. So he could do that maybe while I'm away. I mean, I have agreed this with him. I'm not just like making him do it. He did offer. So yeah, I'll show you where I've got to. At the top of our first set of stairs, and we have it finished off. Mostly all of this bit here is looking pretty good. This all needs a bit of a hand sand. These are what I'm going to be doing today because we've got a smaller pad. I've slightly done all of these, but I feel like maybe they'll need a bit more. Also, my nails are really funny colours because I literally just said, can you put on every pink so that I can test them for the wedding? So yeah, bit odd, but anyway. This one here also needs doing. That one we're taking off, but hopefully you can kind of see, especially here, hole in the wall, we're looking a lot neater. This part we're not going to do until we have renovated, so this is going to be the primary bedroom in here. We're not going to be doing this floor until all of these are secured here. So they run into this area here, which is like our lobby area, and we're hoping when we do all of this floor we can get the big sander in, and then we can do literally all of this all at once. Little update in here as well, we bought a tray that we can't use. Yay! Oh, so annoying. We reinforced the joists over here because we were thinking just like a little notch and it may work. I really wanted a linear tray because I think that they look so chic. Sorry, that's me standing by the foil here. But we've got a bit of an issue because our tray sits here. So obviously the waste is pretty much directly in the middle for all of them. We're going to check and see if we can get a linear one going that way, but then the pipe will have to come just through here. Not quite sure on that one yet. It's a bit of a dilemma that we might have to leave till after the wedding. But you can now see it's not the most beautiful, but it is all connected in. So we had some scaffolding going up this week and our plumber and his friend came and got that in for us. And then from this set of stairs, it looks a bit messier from this angle, but the sides are looking pretty good. This one's looking pretty good. This obviously needs to be hand sanded, unfortunately. And the tops are way better than they used to be. And we've part done this bit here, and these actually are looking really quite good. So I'm gonna get dressed, get all of the tools out. This will probably take about an hour because I also have to make sure that everything is put away as much as possible in hallways and doors are closed so that it doesn't get too dusty. But honestly, there's absolutely no way in a hallway that you can stop the dust getting everywhere because our hallway goes right throughout the house. It's impossible.
Please continue to hold and we'll be with you shortly.
Okay, great.
Good luck now.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.
When I broke that glass this morning in the kitchen, I thought, oh, is this going to be a sign of what today is going to be like? But I hoped that it wasn't. However, I think it is. That is just how today is going to be. The last hour has just gone, as you may have heard, on hold to my bank. They're looking into some payments, which is good, yes, but my day is just going to go. And then I came to sand, and unfortunately I thought we had some sandpaper for our new pad for the sander, and we don't, so I'm gonna have to pop out and get that. But let me show you our new sander, if you even care. Actually, funny enough, the two top recommendations were saying about this sander and also some pads, which I'll show you. This is basically a copy of a really amazing sander. Ollie does a lot of research on all this stuff, so I'm not 100% sure, but apparently this is like a cheap version of an amazing sander. And we've actually been, it's probably the best sander that I've ever had, and I actually don't mind sanding it with it, which says something because I hate sanding. This is it here. It has a really good attachment for the hoover, and as you can see here, it's got all the holes in it so that most of the dust should hoover up. As I said earlier, and as you'll see from some of the footage, it's fine on the finer sandpaper, but if you're having it on the highest setting with a really coarse sandpaper, it doesn't take up all of the dust. I mean, I think that's just inevitable though. Probably no sander will take up all of it. If we did it slower on a finer one, then maybe, but I'd rather have dust than take so much time on the dusting. And then, where are the other things? These were also recommended to us, which are sanding pads. I didn't even really know that they existed until one of you said, and they're amazing because obviously our stairs are very old and a big structure in our house. Sanding them down is fine to a certain extent, but sanding the wood is going to weaken it. Same with our floorboards. If we sand down these treads too much, they're going to crack and they're going to break. I mean, they are cracked and have broken in some places because they are just so old. But what these do, which the sander doesn't do, because the sander has a flat pad, it's obviously going to be taking down all of the surface so that it is totally flat. But these are great for getting into the crevices. So if you've got a bit of a bumpy step, you can get in and, like, with a bit of water, work on that area without taking down too much of the surface. And they literally get rid of paint, which I would have, like, it just looks like a bit of a sponge to me. I wouldn't have imagined that it would have. So you probably can't tell, but here there's like a bit of an indent. Here you can really work, obviously you need it wet, but you can work in there with your hand so that you're not taking down too much of the surface. So they are great obviously as well. The lovely thing about those is that they're not so dusty because you're just working with water. It is a messy job, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pop out now and get those sanding pads. While I start over again with the new sand pads, I thought I would tell you about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you've been watching me for a while now, you'll probably know about them because they have been supporting my channel recently, and I have had my website with them for a while now. So if you don't know who they are, they're the all-in-one website building platform. They have thousands of award-winning templates, so no matter what website you want to be building, whether that's a wedding admin website, a new business that you're going into, or even something that you just want to do as a hobby, they have a template to get you started, which will look unbelievably professional without you having to deal with the back end and the code. You just get to pick all the fun stuff. And they have a wonderful technical team too, which you can reach out to for help, which I have done a few times with mine. Mine is really just a bit of a landing page for my business. I upload blog posts every now and then, but really it's a contact page so people know who I am. So if you're curious to check it out, Squarespace actually do a free trial for a week so you can try it out and see how it suits you and find out just how simple it is to do. And if you want to then go live, you can use my code, which I'll put on screen here, which will get you 10% off your first website or domain. Really, I should get up a blog post on sanding our stairs. I'm gonna try these out now. I am hoping, they've not got the best ventilation, but I just want to get going now.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time's in a rush. Leaves are falling down, but at least they grow back while I'm on a one-way track. Now I know what it means to grow old. Yeah, now I know the time I've got, it is just enough to get by. Yeah, it is just enough to get by. Sometimes I understand I'm making all the wrong demands in life. It never pays in the end.
I was literally just about to strip to get into the shower. I am done for the day. However, I am going to be spraying on the neutralizer because unfortunately, where there was residue left over, where the paint stripper didn't bring everything up, the neutralizer doesn't seem to have like gone through those parts. So it's looking a little bit patchy. And I'm really hoping that that doesn't stay. So Ollie's home and we're both going to shower and then walk down and neutralise all the stairs and then let it dry whilst we have our evening. It's probably, I think it's about 7:30-ish now, probably more like 7:45. But it is looking, I think I'm finally at that stage where it's like, oh, I'm actually going to do this. It's going to be done soon. Ignore the patchiness. But this is where I am. That's the neutralizer there, which I have to spray on, and I'm hoping that that's going to get rid of these like orangey tinges in places. Oh, I don't know. You can see I tried to show you down there when I was sanding. where it stayed in those black bits, but yeah, it's feeling really nice now. It's feeling a lot messier, and like hopefully it's going to be looking like this lovely floor sometime soon.
Now I know what it means to grow old. Yeah, now I know the time I got, it is just enough to get by. Oh, now I know what it means to grow old. Yeah, now I know the time I've got, it is just enough to get by. Yeah, it is just enough to get by.
I did it, or should I say I've done enough. I've done enough for me to feel like I can finish. The stairs are ready to be painted and stained. The camera definitely picks them up more splotchy than they actually are in real life. We do still have to do some more neutralizing, but the stain is going down. With the neutralizing, I actually have some strips there, you can see. And there is going to be a bit of a colour difference here. I don't think there's any way we can get rid of that because they've obviously had different exposure over the last like 100 years. So the wood is going to be a bit of a different colour. They are very old stairs, so I'm all right with that. That's partly why the downstairs we did a light wash on the wood, and we decided to change that and go for the dark. And the reason is because on the stairs, we felt like to get a really polished, beautiful finish, you're never fully going to get away with getting rid of loads of little bits like this. It's very difficult unless you're sanding them down a huge amount. And the dark stain just blends it all in beautifully. So we've done all of these too. These are looking really good. These are actually a slightly different colour. They're a little bit more of they're a different wood. They're not just a different colour, they're a different wood. And they're a little bit more orangey. And then this is all good to go. You can see here, so this is where we're doing the test patches. So where they go green is where they still need some more neutralizer. So I need to spray that on before I go. And then it's pretty dark down here because we have all of the doors closed, but they're all ready. The detail here came out really well. I'm so pleased with that. And it's not perfect, and I feel like a few of you are going to think that I am crazy, but we are actually painting these. These are going to be going back to a white again. We're staining the top of the treads here and also the banisters, so all of this and this will also be stained in the darker colour. But we are also having a lot of paint going back onto the stairs in certain places, so also on the skirting board over there and under here too. So that's why I haven't worried too much about these ones here, because they're just going to be painted over. I'm finishing with the stairs. I'm saying job done because I'm going on my Hendy this weekend. I just want to be like finished, over with. And I'm leaving it to Ollie for the weekend. So next time I see you, hopefully he might have, this is one set that I forgot, by the way. I completely forgot this. And so did he when we said that he'd be staining the stairs. No, we forgot that we're going to be filling them. So next thing, he's going to wood fill them. So we'll probably just use, we've got leftovers from when we sanded the floor, like wood chippings, wood dust, basically the dust from the pine where we sanded the floors. We're going to mix that with PVC, which is what we did on our wood floors up here. And then they'll need another sand. So it's not totally over, but it is, the hardest bit is done. And actually the next one will be a really exciting one because hopefully that window will be changed over and this will also be replaced with some plasterboard. So the whole thing will start looking a lot more put together. Do you guys ever feel like your life is so contrasted? I feel like that a lot at the moment, because I was literally just going to say to you, oh, shall I try on the new dress with you guys that I got for the hen do? And it just feels so bizarre that I spend my life, a lot of my life, a portion of my life, sanding stairs in scruffs, and then the other part of me is planning a wedding and thinking about pretty dresses, and it just seems so contrasted sometimes. I don't want to say I feel like I'm living different lives, but sometimes I feel like I am. I guess maybe you could feel that when you're a parent and maybe you have like a very like work life and then like a mum life. But yeah, I feel very contrasted at the moment. So I'm gonna try on that dress and now you get to see the pretty side. The camera is really blowing out the background, but excuse the mess and probably the dust because I haven't dusted fully since all the sanding. But I'm definitely keeping it and I'm definitely wearing it. It is so pretty, all of the little detail to it. I love a good sleeve and it certainly has one of those and it just feels so comfortable. It's very similar to a dress that I got last year from Jigsaw, but in navy, and I wore it so often that I said if I see a dress like that again, I'll just pick it up, and I thought this was perfect. Definitely wasn't cheap, but I feel like I know that I'll wear it a huge amount. And it's going to be beautiful for the weekend. That tree has literally sprouted all of its leaves in a matter of 1 week. I love when it gets so green up here. And then these are the other things that I'm planning on taking. I get so much of my stuff from Anne Other Stories actually. I feel like these cardigans I wore all the time. That Bowden one that I love. Another Anne Other Stories dress. Feeling like I might take this mint velvet blazer. A lot of this is last year. I bought nothing new apart from this dress that I have on. Probably just the white shirt and that one too. It was like, I have picked, I'll be honest, I've picked most of my white stuff. I do feel a bit of pressure as the bride to be in white, and I did actually pick up, let me answer some of the questions from last week's video and the week before actually. My white dress that I tried on in London was from Reese. I did actually pick it up and it is a dress that I'm going to be wearing over the wedding weekend that we're having. I still talk about the wedding like it's not actually ours and it's not happening. I don't know why. I'll answer another 2 questions because the Reese dress was so quick. Most of the other ones were about 2 main things, which was the windows in the bedroom, which we still haven't decided on, and I'm now thinking that the bedroom is going to take until at least the beginning of next year because of it. We had thought about restoring the windows. We'd actually thought and researched quite a bit about restoring windows, but if you get somebody in, a professional in to do it, it's not as cheap as you think, especially because we would want double glazing, we'd want all the like proper wind and soundproofing, and so it's actually quite expensive, and I think it's like generally quite an ordeal than just having your windows swapped over. And with the price difference not being so major, we felt like, well, why wouldn't you just go for the brand new ones, which look pretty much exactly the same, but are going to be perfectly new and really will be beautifully smooth. I think you can restore windows to a really good standard. This might depend on who you get, which was another thing that we really worried about, is that somebody would just come in, strip the paint off, and like we still wouldn't be able to properly lift them. And our windows are in pretty bad condition. They'd need basically fully gutting to get them to a really good standard, particularly that one, the bay window, because it's where we had our leak. It has a lot of wood which is crumbling and would totally need replacing. Still an option that we might go for, but to be honest, we didn't find the right person to do that. And then the other one was the plywood. So we used plywood in the bathroom. And this is something that we never would have done if it wasn't for our architect, Lou. She actually put it in the plans and Ollie was kind of like, what's that? Why are the walls so thick? And it's really just to reinforce the walls and make them stronger. But the main part of that is, if you've been following along, you'll know when I tried to get the pole out of that wall over there and all of the plaster just came straight off. It just gives, like, those walls would have only had a little bit of plasterboard on them, whereas putting the ply behind makes them way stronger. If we want to put a really heavy gilt mirror like the one that we have in the dining room in one of those rooms, we can do that. And we can do it without having to find a stud or make sure that a stud is in the right place. Knowing and thinking about all of that ahead of time is near impossible, so it just makes it way easier. It's something that we never knew until she said about it. And the other thing with that is that it is more expensive. It's way more expensive to do it that way, but we felt like with having crumbly, not great walls, it was probably worth investing in. I'm just rambling now, but it just made me think another person did ask if Ollie was a builder, which I know some of you know he's not. He did study engineering and he has some kind of passion for it. But when we lived in London and we had a flat, we did absolutely no DIY. Like, I mean nothing. We didn't even really have a hammer in the house. But my friends were coming over for the weekend and I had this really nice clock from the White Company, and I was like, we've got nothing, not one thing on the walls. Could you put this clock up in the hallway? And he literally, I can't even remember how he put it in because I'm not even sure we had a drill then. So he started making a hole in the wall and then water started spurting out. And the one thing that we'd tried to do, he'd gone straight through a pipe and it was right in the middle of one of the walls. He had tried to predict, like, there were radiators in the house. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, I was trying to say you can't always forecast for where you want to put things on walls, and it is often a pain. Good news is you guys don't have to see another video of me sanding, scraping those stairs. It is done. And the next one, it will be getting pretty. I'm gonna pack now and I will see you guys in the next one.